Hey guys, this is Camfrey15. I am back at it with another video for you guys. And my bad. Now I'm back with another anime series review. Now, today is Saturday, April 3rd, and today was the end to what I would think is one of the best rom-coms I have watched in quite a while, and that is Horimiya, or Hori to Miyamura, whatever you want to call it. But I really did enjoy this, and I really wish I had reviewed this show over its, weekly, airtime and its run. There's just a lot of good things to say about this. For starters, I really enjoyed this show from beginning to end. I remember I watched the first episode and I was like, I'm kind of like not feeling it, kind of doozing off on it. And then the more I watched, the more, or what happened is I ended up watching the first dubbed episode because I kind of didn't pay much attention to the first subbed episode. And when the dub came, I watched it and I started to like it. I'm like, oh, this is a really good show. And then I continuously caught up watching the sub, and I really flat out enjoyed Horimiya. It was a really, really great show for winter anime of 2021. Like, I very much enjoyed this adaptation of it. Now, I haven't read the manga. Before I even made this video, there are some Horimiya fans who were kind of upset because apparently they skipped over like a lot of content. Like, I think, the ending we got here wasn't like the true ending, but I still thought as an anime only, it was a nice solid ending, to be honest. You just have Miyamura essentially reflecting on how, I would say how much Hori's changed his life. And I really did like the fact that he's trying to find, like, you did so much for me. What can I really do for you? And he just kind of comes to realization, like, he doesn't really need to do much. And and essentially, what he, wants to do to make Hori happy, essentially, is essentially just by being there, being beside her. And I really did like that. It's definitely one of my favorite rom-coms I have ever watched. Like, I've watched a lot of rom-coms in the past, and usually I'm a sucker for romance, so mostly any type of rom-com I'm cool with. But I would definitely say, if you give me a top 5, rom-com anime, Horimiya is definitely going to be in my top 5. They really had a lot of fleshed out characters. They really did. And what's even shocking is they had a lot of fleshed out characters for the side characters. The side characters were great, just as great as Miyamura and Hori were. They were just as great with their own individual plot lines. And I really did like how the author, because we see in typical rom-coms, we have your main focus characters, obviously, the two main love interests in the show, which is obviously your main male character and your main female character. And then you would have the side characters who would be the complementary friends to, the main characters. And typically sometimes they have the side characters go into their own relationships and stuff like that. And what I liked about the side characters is, you had really the first 5 episodes, focus on really Miyamura and Hori's relationship. And, for really the rest of the episode until really, I guess you can say, the finale of Horimiya, where they went back to focusing strictly on Hori and Miyamura, even a little bit in episode 12 as well. I did like the fact that they really focused a lot and they, had most of the attention of the side characters of how they grew throughout their, trials and tribulations in their whole relationship stuff. Like, I really felt for the Kono storyline. We know that she liked Ishikawa, but you find out that it's kind of a love triangle angle with him, Kono and Yoshikawa. And then you kind of realize and you kind of see, it's kind of a lost cause for Kono, because we later find out that, Ishikawa he, clearly has feelings for Yoshikawa, but, it's like he didn't really do anything. And, he pretended to be, Yoshikawa's boyfriend because Yoshikawa just felt like, I don't want to be with the one guy who came at the end. I forgot his name. And stuff like that. But I really did like that. That was like really live element. I remember watching the episode and I felt so bad for Kono because it's such real life shit there, and stuff like that. Ichikawa did nothing wrong. Clearly, he just wanted to end up with somebody that he really liked. And that's what I say. I really did like how they focused on some of the characters, like the whole class president and Remy, relationship, where they went into the backstory of how their relationship got started and everything. I really like the characters. I would say the other, favorite, character I have other than Miyamura and Hori would definitely probably be Yoshikawa. Now, in those episodes when she was kind of doing those things that I thought were sus, I was like, oh no, she's not really sus. She's a nice girl. It's just, she doesn't like to express herself and show herself much. And I really do that's honestly probably my second favorite relationship in the show, which is the Ishikawa-Yoshikawa relationship. Essentially, I like those two relationships, which I think they're like one of the best side characters in the show because it's two characters that clearly they like each other romantically. They just are essentially expressing it in a different way. Like they clearly, like each other, but they don't want to announce to the world like, oh, yeah, we're completely dating and we're going to be, a committed couple. They're just being their own thing, and stuff like that. And I really liked this show. Like, the characters were really freaking good. Miyamura, is probably one of my favorite male MC characters. Best boy material, most definitely. When you go see, that's why I said, I really liked how he reflected in this final episode here. And, he, at one point in the episode, he thought, what would my life be if I never encountered Hori? If I never, found her brother and took, her brother to her house. And you just see, what would happen. Essentially, everything would be different. You see, you see some cases where some characters are changed. Like, for example, Remy would have had shorter hair, You had this one scene where it looked like Hori and Miyamura would definitely, talk to each other because they're right next to each other. But then you have one of Hori's friends call her over and she leaves and they don't even talk. And then, the whole heartbreaking scene when something drops out of Miyamura's pocket or whatever, and then Ichikawa picks it up. And in order for Miyamura to hide that he has piercings and everything, you just kind of run off and stuff like that. And it goes to show Jesus, this guy would literally have no one if not for meeting Hori. And I did like when he talked to her, he's like, I find it as a coincidence that we met in the first place. And I liked how Hori's like, well, yeah, but I'd rather say I call this fate. Hey, I want to honestly believe sometimes fate can happen. Sometimes fate can bring two star-crossed lovers together. I really did like his development, and I really did like, the start to their relationship, how they're just, I guess you could say, acquaintances, then they become, people they know who know each other, and then, people who eventually become friends, only to develop the feelings for each other because they clearly show that they truly do care about each other. And I did like the whole building block, how, people thought Miyamura was a strange dude, but Hori was the one person that gave him a chance and said, he's not strange, he's just unique in his own way. And stuff like that. This show is really freaking good. Now, again, like I said, I haven't read the manga. Maybe I should read the manga and see what things are different. From what I did see on Twitter, I guess the ending screenshots with the pictures in it, were moments from the manga chapters. Now, I've seen some manga readers fine with it. Some manga readers, really pissed off and turned off that they skipped over content in this anime. But the thing is, God, for obviously the manga readers, I understand. I would probably be pissed if they skipped over something that I read first and only to wait for it to be adapted into an anime. But this was only like given 13 episodes and stuff like that. And heck, it feels like this is the type of series that only is going to get those 13 episodes. And it's like, well, if you want to see like the full story from beginning to start, you're going to have to read the manga, obviously. Because it feels like that show, like, hey, and the way that the show ended, it definitely is not going to get a second season, and stuff like that. But it's like, I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, you have to admit, this is a pretty good adaptation of an anime for a rom-com series that is pretty beloved amongst, I guess, the community of this series. I very much enjoyed this show. I had a lot of funny moments. The comedy was gold. I liked the side characters. Probably my favorite side characters in a rom-com ever, and I'm not even joking. Probably the only other, side characters I like, probably literally in a rom-com, are probably Tonikawa, which actually recently came out a few, months ago from last year and stuff like that. I love their, side cast. Here, I potentially think this might be the best side cast in the rom-com genre with how much development they get. And, they spread the development around. They're not, like I said, they don't focus not only on Miyamura and Hori's relationship. They give you nice little teeny bits, especially in that, phase when they kind of took off the focus from the relationship. They still gave you little bits and pieces of the relationship, as they morally focused on the side characters' relationships and stuff like that. But I was really impressed with Horimiya. I definitely regret not freaking reviewing this on a weekly basis. And I'm definitely going to miss the show a lot. But this is a show that, hey, once in a while, if I have nothing else to watch and I just want something funny and sweet to watch, then I'll go and pick up, Horimiya and watch it all over again from start to beginning and stuff like that. It's really a great show. I love the relationship between Miyamura and Hori. Definitely one of the best, couples in anime, period. Definitely a really good series. If you're somehow re-watching this video and you haven't seen a lick of Horimiya, well, I just kind of gave you a brief, discussion. I guess you can say, somewhat spoiled the finale a bit, but it was just kind of an analysis, to be honest. So again, if you haven't seen Horimiya the anime and you are interested, please give that show a watch. It's a really good show. Very much enjoyed it. I had a blast, literally from scene to scene, where I literally was losing my mind, laughing of just dead laughter and stuff like that. And yeah, definitely has some really good romantic moments in this show. And can I just say this? Hori's dad was literally one of the best dads I've ever seen in anime, period. That man was funny. In the finale, this guy was literally taking pictures of Miyamura, and he's like, hey, come over here, my son. And you should have already like, what the hell is going on? Essentially, it was a good, it's a good freaking show to watch. Definitely, good for people who I guess are pretty antisocial as well, to seeing like what it's like to take the next step and maybe in being just a little bit of a more social person. I like that Miyamura, he was a very unsocialized person until he met Hori, and then the more he met Hori, the more friends he made. And I like the fact that, every now and then he had his analysis and stuff like that. Like I remember in one of the episodes, he asked Ishikawa, like, are you my friend? And then Ishikawa's like, dude, of course we're friends. Why wouldn't we be? Like, it's just really good, characters, really good story, very heartwarming, funny anime. And I definitely recommend you give this a watch if you haven't seen it. Definitely something on the radar, that is going to be a really good watch and that won't waste your time. I guess as for the manga readers, you know, I understand where they're coming from. I know it sucks that, you know, some things were skipped out. But like I said earlier, it was only a 13 episode, you know, show. You're not going to fit everything into 13 episodes, you know? So, hey, I'm guessing go back and read the manga to get more enjoyment. I know it sucks that, oh, you probably wanted this one part to be, you know, adapted into the anime. But sadly, it got cut out, and, you know, it's not like no ReZero where, hey, you get 29 minutes and stuff like that because ReZero has no ads. But, hey, I still thought it was good for even all the cuts it was out. Heck, you know, the show could have ended much earlier, honestly, with how good the story was. And I'm very much going to enjoy it. I really did. I did love the visuals at the end in the final part of the episode. And it was just Hori and Miyamura walking together. Very nice, very sweet, very adorable. Definitely like the relationship between the two. They both care about each other and stuff like that. Anyways, I've said enough as I can say because I'm just kind of lagging on here. So I'm going to get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts if you've seen Horimiya. Did you like it? Did you hate it? You know, well, I want to say, did you like it? Did you not like the fact that they cut so many stuff out, I'm guessing? And, you know, what are your recommendations for the manga for me to read? Should I read it? Should I not? I'll probably end up like skimming and checking it out somehow if I have time on my schedule. But yeah, as well as where do you rank this in terms of your rom-coms you've watched? Hit that subscribe button if you want to get more anime series reviews, as well as more anime content reviews for this upcoming anime season, as well as getting other stuff on the channel. Anyways, guys, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night, as well as have a great rest of your Easter weekend if you celebrate that. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.